tough guy.
Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace, and I see a whole army of my countrymen, but they'll never take our freedom!
Welcome to a real Flat Earth, everybody. Last night was sort of a fake one, but we're going to have a bunch of those because we have so much Flat Earth to cover. How are you doing this evening, brother?
Great. Good to be here. Flat Earth Fridays again. And, we got a lot to cover.
We do, yeah, because, well, number one, Jeran did a podcast that he put on membership only on YouTube that most people don't even know exists. We're going to be going through that podcast tonight, and in it you're going to hear what a globe Earth shill Jeran is, and he's talking shit about us, and he's putting it behind a paywall. So I got to let everybody know that that's unethical. Like, everybody needs to ride Jeran on this. You can't talk shit about people in a public debate as something as big as Flat Earth versus Globe Earth, and talk shit about the opposition and then put it on private where you actually have to pay to hear the shit that he says about us. So, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pay him to cover the shit that he says about us. We'll have to find people that will screen record from within his content and say, share the shit that he's saying about us so that we can cover it. But I'm not going to pay him for everybody should hear the crap that's going to come out of his mouth tonight.
It's each their own. If you want to pay Jeran, you want to see the full video, we're not going to show the full video, but you can go to his channel. It's there. Go and subscribe and watch it if that's what you're into. We're not trying to take anybody off doing what they want to do. That's it. We're just trying to share the truth with what we found and researched. And we tried to stay ahead of what we see another group of people trying to debunk and trying to straw man. And that's all we've really done is tried to protect an innocent truth, the shape of our reality. And at the end of the day, you're going to be the judge who's fighting for truth and who's a grifter and who's a gang stalker. And, all these different things and attributes get mixed into this. And at the end of the day, just look for the truth. And tonight we're going to be looking at Jeran's, I guess this is his responses to our coverage of the whole final experiment.
It's his responses to us, and it's him just going off on tangents, shilling for the globe. I mean, people, when we go through this, you should be shocked to see how blatantly he's arguing for the globe, for curvature. He is the curvature guy from the hit piece Behind the Curve, right? He starred in that movie. That's what he's known for. So it's obvious this fundamental truth has been in our description box since early 2018. That's fundamental truth number 2, and it's because we were explaining to these guys like Jeranism, David Weiss, how the sunrise and sunset angles south of the equator debunk that the sun is just doing circles around Polaris, right? It's simple. That's what we've been doing for the last 7 years, is explaining and showing that. And so these guys went absolutely tone deaf. All they did is, what is it they call blackballing? It's a Freemason term. They blackballed us. They won't say our names. They'll say Jason and Ronnie, but they won't say Awake Souls or Limitless, where people are going to be able to find us. And so all they do is create a false straw men. Like Will Duffy is coming up with Cube Earth now, which is just way out there. So the main thing that both the Globers and the fake Flat Earthers are trying to do is silence us, right? And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep exposing all this stuff over and over and over. I don't think, based on some of the stuff that we're going to start showing tonight, I don't know that this final experiment that they ever get to Antarctica, because we can prove the circling sun in Antarctica right now, all sitting at home with the use of YouTube. This is not hard.
Yeah, the evidence is there. And that's what I said at the end of the day. And you take with what you want. You know, Jason and I we do this because this is what we're passionate about. There's nowhere to go fund us. There's no donation sites. We're not selling coffee mugs or t-shirts. We do want people that want to be around, that want to hear new music. We got a Telegram group. You can join. The link is in the description box of this video. And I think every video that Jason does, except for maybe the ones I put up. And yeah, join in. There's going to be more videos coming out. We've had some new videos come out lately. The one where the track and field experiment took place, and we had QN trying to say that the track is curved. I mean, then compared it to the Mall Angel video and counted the steps. I mean, can you guys believe it? This guy sat there with a little clicker and counted how many steps the people took around the track, and then was trying to say that the mall was like 3 times further. And that we debunked ourselves because you could still see the mall walkers' feet and not the people on the track, even though it was a P1000 camera compared to a cell phone camera. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a video about that.
Yeah, how much difference is the height to the center of that diameter going to be if you're using a P1000 versus a cell phone camera? I mean, they showed in the video that you can get as low as a half an inch with a cell phone camera. You can't do that with a P1000, right? But
no, it's a lot higher in the air, and it's a lot bigger aperture. Again, him trying to fight for curvature now, and the same you said was Jeran. So we've got the same, coincidentally, you know, haters of the Bible, haters of the scriptures, fake flat earthers that are actually fighting to prove globular ball earth.
that's what they're doing. So we've got a lot to get through. I just want to let people know that this Sunday we're going to be going through what's being called biblical cosmology with Witsit Gets It. Whoever thought that this guy was supposedly a Christian? This is literally the first time hearing about it, but I guess Jeran couldn't do it since he's probably been the most anti-creator of this world, being the Elohim of the Bible guy I've ever heard online, right? He might be the most extreme. So obviously he couldn't do it, so Witsit Gets It's doing it. So we'll be going through that on Sunday as far as Spiritual Sunday is concerned. Anything else you want to talk about, brother, or should we get going?
Let's go. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please leave a comment below with your thoughts.
She's no angel,
we are back, and there's a few clips that I want to get through because we're going to keep track of what's going on with this whole.
You got some tabs updates, flat Earth community updates. You have to come up with a name for this segment.
Yeah, well, the thing is we're document everything. So in the Telegram group, so everybody, the real documentation of all this is taking place in the Telegram group Reality Check Chat. And so there people are dropping links to things. I'm going to be showing you something that, we had a link drop to us. And so this is where the information is being dropped. And what we want to do is we want to keep track of the positions of all the main players within the final experiment. So everybody that's name is dropped that's relevant to this this topic, we want to know their positions all the way along and document it. So this right here is just a quick documenting of Mark Sargent's position on this. And it's just a couple minutes here, but let's go ahead and get this on record. This is what Mark has to say about it.
I want to address this, which was, yes, I was on the email list from a lot of other people calling the final experiment. For me, though, I downplayed this thing for years, way before the final experiment, which was like, look, because people have asked me, going all the way back to like 2016, they said, what's the weakest angle of the flat Earth? I go, it's the 24-hour Antarctic sun. Oh,
so he knew all along, the weakest part was the 24 Antarctic
That's the
sun.
silver bullet that he says doesn't exist.
Yeah, you know what he's going to say, don't you?
always has been, which is if there is only one light source, then the 24-hour Arctic sun, that's a piece of cake, but the Antarctic sun can't be done that way unless there's a secondary light source or another optics involved that we don't know.
So either a secondary light source or other optics. So either a second sun is not going to help you at all. And as Jeran has been stating, everybody would see the second sun coming in, right? It would be hard to hide if it was a second sun, right? And different optics. So he's going to look for some way it's going to have to be the coffee caustic cup to him. So this is his position so far.
Do I believe in the 24-hour Antarctic sun? I could go either way. I mean,
he could go either way. He's not even against it. Jeran says he's against it, but Mark, he can go either way. He's saying.
I know there's time lapse footage which shows a gap, but I've also have photographer friends that I really can't accuse of lying that say they've seen the 24-hour sun down in Antarctica.
So he's got friends he can't accuse of lying that say that they've seen it.
If it happens, here, I'll just give you a prediction really fast. If somebody went down there, I'm not going to go to Antarctica. I don't have to. I'll take their word for it.
He doesn't have to go. He knows it's there, right? He'll take their word for it.
Which is, if they show a 24-hour sun, does that prove that it's a globe? No, it just proves there's a 24-hour sun.
Jeran's saying that that's stupid, right? That there's no other explanation, and that it proves that we're on a globe.
They're Captain Miss in America.
Mm-hmm.
With the pizza dome.
Strange World with the pressurized pizza dome.
And they don't have
Go ahead.
the dome on it. So this one's the flying in outer space Earth.
Yeah, but Nathan Oakley is going to tell you can't have air pressure without a container. Right? That's what he's going to say.
It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt us really in any way. And mostly because I hate to say this, it's not a cop-out when I say this. The general public does not understand what it means. So you can call it the final experiment all day long, but the average person on the street doesn't even conceive of what the 24-hour sun. I have brought it up in, I don't know, countless interviews. And the average person that I'm talking to look at me like I asked them a math problem. And it's like, which is why the narrative has to be really, really simple. So if they find a 24-hour sun, who cares? Who cares? It is not the silver bullet to kill flat Earth. If there was a silver bullet, we would have run into it a long time ago.
He said it. He said it was it. He always knew it was it. Silver bullet. So that's Mark's position on all of this. That's a
Well,
bad.
the only way that that can be a silver bullet is if this is the only reality and projection of Earth that you promote, the one with the circling ice. Right?
Absolutely.
That's the only flat Earth model that gets killed here. The one that Mark's been pushing.
We do have a silver bullet coming up. But I just want to point out to everybody, this is what we are going to be covering this Sunday. This is Austin Whitsitt live at the Old State Saloon, Biblical Cosmology. Who would have ever guessed that Whitsitt Gitsit's the biblical cosmologist? What's he going to be talking about?
He has incredible healing properties, etc. Looks like the CIA took a few people out over it, actually. So,
Yeah, CIA. They come up a bunch in his presentation. We'll be going through that.
And Rob?
Right.
Bob?
All right, so let me pull up Telegram here. This is what we're talking about, everybody. This is where the cutting edge of the truth is happening. We had Zworst coming in and saying, sorry if I'm bombing channel, last one. And he had a link to this video, and we're going to watch that. I've been looking forward to being able to play this. It's from Where's Wally 5 years ago. Right, so this was mirrored with permission from this Robert Schwartz. He seems to have all the footage in Antarctica. And yeah, Zworst gave it a heart, and I know why. All right, we're all going to have to check out this footage. And then the rest of the comments, obviously this is a huge AE map model debunk, but we're going to watch the moon above the horizon for 14 days at, well, it says the South Pole, but it's not all the way there. Come on. You can stop me anytime you want, brother. I want to point out a few things about this. There are a few cuts within this footage, but if you watch the guy's videos, you got to understand that batteries have to be changed and things like that. So every once in a while you'll see a splice on this, but other than that, it's pretty clean. It's really clean. Yeah. It tracks the moon, and as you can see here, the moon is not going above the horizon as we're doing 360s, right?
No.
All right, so 360s are a full day, and what we're actually going to see is the moon go through its phases. So we're going from a full moon, and I'll let you guess what phase we're going to. But notice there's stars up in the sky here. All right, look at the path of the star right here. Look at the path of the moon. Obviously, the wandering stars are just a hair faster than the moon. And we do go into a cloudy section right here. But notice how high the moon is getting. It's up near the top of the picture. The camera hasn't changed its tilt at all. So the moon has gone from being down lower to being, went up towards the top of the screen. Now it's working its way back down again. And where are we at? We're almost at a half moon. Well, this is called 3/4 moon technically, but here we go. Even though it's cloudy and stuff, you can tell that this is all being recorded at a time of the year when the sun's not above the horizon, right? Not at a single point in this footage have we seen the sun whatsoever. But here's the moon, right? The moon went back up a little bit here. And now it's making another path down. See it going through its phase. Now what do we have over here? Look at this orange glow that was creeping up. Sun's not above the horizon, but here we have day glow. So we went through a period where it was just all night. And here we have day glow without a sun above the horizon. And we here have a moon that's going to go down to its final waning crescent with no sun. All right, so that was a 14-day time period. the sun was above the horizon and never set. How do you explain that on the Freemason New World Order pressurized pizza dome? Why do we need to go to Antarctica when there's just a plethora of proof that the luminaries are rotating above the horizon once you get far enough south, as they do in the north, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty obvious. So let's go ahead and bring up Stellarium. I want to show everybody here.
Yeah, that would be something to witness, to film the daytime new moon. It's incredible. All these things that we're seeing is just fascinating, in my opinion.
Yeah, so if we look at the location window here, you can see that I've dragged us down. This isn't real accurate, but it shows right here 79 degrees, 42 degrees. So this is south of where the Union Glacier camp is. So we're plenty far enough south. Not too far, but we're extra far. And so what we can do here is we can lock on to something. I'm going to lock on to the moon. And you can see that we're looking southeast right now. The moon's in the sky as a little crescent, and the sun's over here. And I want to show everybody the reason why they're going to Antarctica December 14th. And that is because the moon's going to be not above the horizon during that time period.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So let's take a look at here what's going on. We're running the hour counter. So now that you know what I'm looking at here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish eye out just a little bit further so that we can get as much perspective as possible. Let's run this. Oh, I gotta click on this again. Alright, let's run the hour counter now. So you can see that this is hours within a day, the way the moon is going up and down, and then all of a sudden it starts bobbing up and down, up. This is a very visible moon. It's not a full moon, but it's very visible. It's bobbing up and down. Now all of a sudden it's not coming above the horizon. So we're in the middle of November right now. And I'm going to zoom through this. Now all of a sudden we're at the end of November and it's bouncing up and down. And look at what's happening here. Here comes our sun. The two are in the sky at the same time. So wouldn't this be a great time to be filming? Because all right, well let's just show everybody. Let's track the sun now and watch what's happening here. I'll do a little bit of a zoom in. And so you've got this waning crescent of a moon. The sun's above the horizon. And stop tracking the sun. So here we go.
The moon just disappears.
As we go through the hours of the day, the moon is getting closer and closer to the sun. The sun is above. The moon is not visible. No moon. This is like when eclipses happen, when they line up. And guess what comes out on the other side?
Oh.
So this
daytime new moon.
So here we are. This is December 2nd, and we have new moon. We have the sun. I think they're supposed to be arriving there on the 4th. So what's happening here? The moon's just that little crescent. We're on the 3rd right now.
So they were just like 2 weeks too early with the experiment to not get both luminaries above the ground circling?
Well, here's the 4th. And so you do have just a slight sliver of the moon there. But let's watch. The moon's going to go. I'm going to track the sun again. Here's our moon. Once the moon goes down here, keep tracking the sun. So there's a little bit of a bobbing of the moon going on behind the sun right now while they're there. And then it's not long. I don't know why it keeps losing its track. And what happens is that let's switch to the moon here. The moon's bobbing up and down, and it's behind the sun, and then after this point right here, it stays below the horizon, right? So when they're going, the moon's behind the sun, it's just coming into a new moon, and it does a few bobs, and then it goes down. But as we saw from that video, there's so many other times that we can get the sun and the moon up, but it's also, let's go ahead and get the moon back up here above the horizon and show people another time period of the year with the sun down. So this right here, track. If you watch the path of the moon right here, bobbing up and down, up and down. So 14 days up, 14 days down. If we go out here to this part of the year, all right, so now what we have when we run the hour counter here is we've got the moon weaving through the sky. I mean, and these are at high altitudes, super high altitudes, wobbling through the sky. And I want to show everybody the reason why these are at high altitudes. It's because it's the first major lunar standstill in more than 18 years is about to occur. So it happens every 18.6 years. This has to do with the maximum deviation that the moon goes through. And it's going to tell us down here that a major lunar standstill, or lunistus, occurs when the tilts of both Earth and the moon are at their maximum. A major lunar standstill significantly affects how long the moon is in the sky at night. A moon rising farthest northeast in the northern hemisphere climbs higher in the sky and stays in the sky longer. It shines in a noticeably different position than during a minor lunar standstill, when the range of where it rises and sets is its narrowest. So, and then it calls out places like Stonehenge, which has been in the headlines. So we're coming into a major lunar standstill, and it's between this equinox and next equinox that it peaks. And so that's the reason when we're looking at Stellarium, why we're seeing, if we go back here to like November, it's making its maximum.
The moon is just high up in the skies.
What the wobble of its path goes the most radical. Let's get this up higher. So you gotta follow the entire path, but you'll see that this deviation up and down goes to its maximum, and you'll see it right in your own local area too, as far as the length of time that it'll be out at night will be its longest, because it's rising from the farthest northeast and it's setting to the farthest northwest. And yeah, so this is all coming together, and just by understanding footage like this, showing that the moon never sets, all right, for 14 days, circling around a person, where you know how much you can zoom into it. Everybody should know that if we get to let's go to a full moon. All right, if you got a P1000, that's not a full moon. It's not going to show me a full moon right now. Come on, we're all under Oh, there, that's close enough. So everybody knows that when you zoom in with the P1000, you can hit the full frame like this, right? And then you can go in at least another, you can go so that each one of these sections is just like 1/4. You can zoom in this far with a P1000 on the moon. And that means that in Antarctica, far enough south, you're going to be able to watch this full moon go all the way around you. You see how close, how obviously close that makes it, right? And how it debunks the idea of the sun circling and the moon circling Polaris. You're not going to see it going around your head down here if that's the case. Absolutely. So, lunar standstill. Let's move on to Jeran. And a couple things I want to point out about Jeran. If you look him up on a Google search, one of the first things that you're going to see is his IMDb. Now, I don't have Pro and I can't see everything about him, but it says he's a writer and a producer. So anybody that's got the Pro membership, maybe give us the rest of this information. Past television, so TV series Jeranism 2015, and let's see what else we can find with
Hoax.
Yeah, let's see what else we can find out about Jeran from his IMDb without the Pro. So it calls him a writer-producer. He's known for Jeranism 2015, Hysteria 51, and What If the Earth is Flat? And I had never heard of Hysteria 51. This is all about Bigfoot and crap like that he was a part of. And What If the Earth is Flat? Now I gotta ask Jeran right here, what is this? I've never seen this. And this says, what if the Earth is flat, takes an unbiased approach to the topic and simply presents the impact of the movement on the world as a whole. What is the overall impact on freedom of speech and censorship and all this kind of stuff? And
It's got them depicted as superheroes.
Yeah, what is this? You've got Rob Skiba, you've got Pat, you got Mark, you got ODD, you got Bob,
all the guys,
Robbie.
They're all superheroes.
What is this? We want to link to that. So stars are Jeran, Robbie Davidson, and Rick Hummer.
It's called What If?
Yeah.
What if Earth is flat?
Yeah, I want to know about that. So if you go back to the main page, it shows 2 photos from behind the curve. Now that's what he's
behind the curve link.
That's what he's famous for, right? He was the star of Behind the Curve.
Right? He was on the cover. That's the cover shot of him doing the experiment. If you scroll down, I'm pretty sure the one on the right. It
was on the cover. But that didn't make it to his IMDb. In fact, there's no reference to Behind the Curve here whatsoever. So he's got this astroturfed to hide the fact that he was in Behind the Curve. Wow. And I really want to know what if the Earth is flat. I want to link to that, Jeran.
Well, because he's probably going to be starring in the 24-hour Antarctic sun video movie, right?
Absolutely. So here's Jeran's LinkedIn, and let's check it out here. I want it. Well, as he said before, he was a CVS store manager, and as we've shown before, UBBBK.com was his witchcraft website that he had, where he was selling all the bat's blood and witchcraft accessories. And I didn't know about specials.com, but both of those websites are down. It says that he is a safety and security writer, right, for BitScan, and that he's doing that presently. A writer for Crypto Coin News. Jeran is a current writer for Crypto Coin News, and he's a creator at YouTube.
Wow.
So one of the things that he does at YouTube is he puts up content, and then he is now putting it behind paywalls. So if you go to Jeran's site right now, you'll see that it goes from Pastor Will Duffy 2 weeks ago, and then it gaps out because he put the hangouts that he was talking about us behind a paywall. And just to prove that, here is the show that we're going to be going through. It's up on Rockfin, but it's premium there as well. And this is, so we were watching this, and then all of a sudden, boom, it switched on us to members only content. And so I just want to point out to everybody that channels that have this members only shit like this, if you go back to his front page here, it doesn't even show up if it's put to members only. So the public doesn't even know that these things exist anymore. Only the people that pay him have any idea that they exist. So we're going to be going through this. We've got a lot of timestamps to go through. And this is the Jeranism 97. Go ahead and stop me anytime that you want, brother. All right. Unfortunately, because it's not on YouTube, I don't have as good of controls for queuing everything up. And it just wiggles around way too much, so I'm not going to be able to... Everybody complained to Jeran about the fact that he's got this shit behind a paywall, and we have to cover it like this.
We stopped you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
It's not a mirage.
It's not.
We're talking about the
It's not real.
Lake Michigan in Chicago. Clearly not a mirage.
It's fake.
What are they? What are they doing there? Why do we see them?
Rob Skiba fakes it.
Who knows? I believe, as I have believed for the last 9 years, that the Earth is not a spinning globe in space. That's what I currently believe. But will that change in the near future? We'll see. Will people lose their minds if that happens? Most definitely. Most definitely. Because...
Will that change? Will they lose their minds?
We're not looking for the truth anymore. That has gone by the wayside.
All right, I just want to point out to everybody that what you're seeing right here is depicting a globe with all the continents on one side, and that is the Club of Rome logo. Club of Rome logo.
But it has not for me.
This is clearly not an AE map. It's a globe with all the continents on one side.
It's the reason I'm here. It's the reason I remain here. It's the reason I will remain here. And I believe that we have to draw a line in the sand, I guess you would say, in a way that if you continue to watch my channel, if you continue to follow me in any way, my hope is that you are here for the truth and not just because it fits your fancy or because you're a Christian and it matches your worldview. It needs to be about the truth, because sometimes when you're searching for the truth, your current beliefs are wrong.
All right, so it's not about whether or not you're Christian and it matches your worldview. You got to be ready to be wrong, is what Jeran is emphasizing here. Look at
his new logo up there. Now it really looks spherical. The way that he's got it, the new on the brick, the white brick, yeah.
Yeah, it's a globe with all the continents on one side. It's not an AE map model.
In front of the brick, you can really see the contour of the globe there.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what happens. Now, I've already had many people message me, comment, and complain and critique and everything else. And I've already had people say, oh, Jeran's a shill, you name it. 9 years of doing this and I'm a shill. Makes a lot of sense, right? What do we...
We've been calling you out all along. As soon as we realized that the AE mappa model didn't work. You are probably the most covered shill on our channels.
See from the guy here in the chat, I don't know if I can go scroll back far enough, probably not. Yeah, he did. He's still here. So Harvard Smith D'Angelo. Let's look at this genius here. He said, dang, Jeran is real, pulling out his thing and exposing himself. Shame, he had some really good content over the years. A good rule of thumb, shills almost always wear a costume of some kind, usually including a hat.
All right, so do you think there's any chance that one of his Freemason buddies posted up this straw man. All right, now we've pointed out that it is very common. Like Jeran does wear a hat. One of the guys, David Weiss, he's always got the hat on.
A bunch of them, not Rick Hummer, but there's a bunch of them that are always wearing the hats.
Yeah, absolutely. So does it mean for sure that these guys are Freemason Jesuits?
It's a kippah, right?
Yeah, well, when you put it all together, when you put the brick wall behind and then you see what it is that the person's standing up for and who they work with, and that the obvious agendas that they have, then yeah, it all does come together. And it is very common for the New World Order agents to have something on their head.
Yeah, Hitler, ODD, same thing.
Effed up world.
So this is the kind of people, this is the kind of quality information we have, guys. Just so you know, that's a good rule of thumb. Shills always wear a costume, usually including a hat.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things.
Such a stupid non sequitur. It has nothing to do with anything.
It is, and that's the reason.
Guys wear hats because they don't have any hair, so they wear the hat.
There's that, but
Dukes.
Costumes, he's right about that, because you will see the Under Armour, you will see the 33s, you will all that kind of stuff. You'll see them advertising who they are in some subvert way.
So, you know, I should follow more people like that, because if you're going to get to the truth, it's by realizing that anybody wearing a hat is probably wearing a costume, probably because they're a shill, even though there's no.
That's not the reason why you're a shill, Jeran. It's not because of the hat.
Shill that's ever been exposed ever in the history of the truther movement. No shill at all.
I guess you have to set it up, but
yeah, no shill has ever been exposed. As we're doing it, come on, get out of here.
None whatsoever. We are on to the Jeranism show. If you didn't know that, we are on to episode number 97. Can you believe it? That's crazy.
It's hidden behind a paywall. Everybody, go check.
Truther non iam. If you don't know what that means, it is in Latin. Well, not the word truther isn't.
Oh, he's going Latin. What do you think of that?
It doesn't surprise me.
The Jesuit going Latin.
But it means no longer. I'm out.
He's out. No longer a truther, everybody. Jeran quit.
Jerry the Jesse's out.
I don't like the word truther. I don't want
He doesn't like truth.
Associate myself with the word truther anymore, because I've seen.
I just want to quickly tell everybody, the truther movement was started by Alex Jones and the CIA. They infiltrated using guys like Mark Dice and there's so many. David Icke. I could name them all. Jeran is clearly, definitely one of them, right? And so they made these characters up to be taken down and mocked. So Jeran's just coming out here, paraphrasing the talking points from the Ball Earthers and now just mocking truthers, characters like himself and others, as people that are just idiots.
So let me see if you can guess this. Do you have any idea why he wants to quit the truth movement?
Because people think he's a shill for wearing a hat.
No, it's because of us. Listen.
The opposite of that. I've seen truthers stuck in a dogmatic position. I've seen truthers who would rather defend their position despite the evidence. And that's upsetting, because it's not where I want to go. I don't want to do this and just keep arguing a point despite the evidence. So today we're going to look at a little bit about the final experiment, just to show you why it is a good determination of which model is probably correct. Now, it doesn't mean that just, let's pretend that I go down there to Antarctica we're talking about, and I see the sun. Remember, we're pretending before you lose your little biscuits. I'm pretending that the sun goes around my head. If I come back and I say, now I believe that the globe Earth is more closer to the truth, it doesn't mean it's the truth. And it doesn't mean that you need to think it's the truth. You don't need to believe the same thing as I do. In fact, you don't need to believe the same thing as anybody. In fact, if we look at what I describe a truther as, number one, what does a truther believe? Well, in my opinion, they
the truth?
Believe anything coming from somebody.
No, a truther believes the truth, not anything.
Who calls themselves a truther, except if they believe different, in which case they're a shill. So you got that? That's what a truther is. It believes any.
So you have to believe exactly as another person believes, or you're a shill. Come on, this is a straw man that's so bad. How can anybody even... No, you have to believe the truth if you're a truther, not... And you believe this person, and then anything else is shillery, right?
The whole entire reason why Jeran and I aren't friends, why we're not friends, we were friends, sort of, in 2015, is because I told him, hey, man, the AE map doesn't work. The sun circles the other way in Antarctica. I literally told him this, and he mocked me. And now he's out here saying that I'm a truther. Right? When I went to truth with him, and he mocked me and blackballed me, and censored me, and kept me out of everything the best that he could, because I was sharing the truth. Now, 7 years later, he's out here now touting what I was saying, but saying that you live on a ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thing that's coming from a truther, as long as it's the same thing they already believe. If they say something differently than what they believe...
Listen, everybody's beliefs have changed. Right? In the last 7 years, 8 years, everybody's beliefs have changed. We grew up thinking that we were on a spinning ball flying through space. We fell for Earth being a pressurized pizza dome, but we actually went to make content, and in doing so, found out that it's an impossible model, pointed it out to you, and you continue to stick with it, even though we moved on and learned that we're in a stereographic virtual reality. That's where we're at.
Then that person becomes a shill. This is the greatest way to get to the truth that there ever was. Stay in your position. Anybody who's outside of that is definitely a shill. That makes a lot of sense.
We moved on. When are you going to move on from the pressurized pizza dome?
Believe every meme that there was ever created. Every meme is true. They believe everything shared on Telegram. They believe every single thing that's shared. No question.
So, I mean, why is he got to mock memes?
Yeah.
That is such a weird, again, non sequitur. So a meme is like mocking YouTube. You know how stupid people sound when they mock YouTube? YouTube's just a platform. A meme is just a platform for a message. You can't just throw memes under the bus.
Well, this is the bus throwing episode. He's going to throw a whole bunch of things under the bus. First of which, he's going to be throwing banjo under the bus here in just a second. And then there's going to be a whole bunch more under the buses coming up. He's throwing a bunch.
No digging in. They also believe any video by somebody they agree with is great. It's great. It's a great video. No need to follow up. No need to verify. That's all that you need. Speaking about, like, for instance, I've had a bunch of people message me, or I saw some people in my VIP chat earlier saying how great Banjo's video was today. Banjo's video was terrible.
Terrible. Oh,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Under the bus.
Again, I don't want to call people out like that.
But that's what you're doing.
It's like they don't know their own model. They're like showing people saying that there's a setting sun, but they're from McMurdo base.
Yeah, so he's going to throw everybody under the bus from his group that's saying that there's some possibility that there could be a 24-hour sun on a flat Earth, because he's saying there is not. No way. Oh, how?
Did they mention the sun setting? No? Well, then how is that evidence that there is no 24-hour sun? This is why they say absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. If we're going to say, hey, there is no 24-hour sun video, which we say. I agree with that one. I do say that as well. But there also is no video of the sun setting in Antarctica on the winter, or in our winter, their summer. So we can't just say that evidence of absence is absence of evidence. Okay?
Say it again.
About that today. We're also going to get into a couple things that are coming up. Let's talk about that. I also wanted to mention something about abortion. We're going to go over to Rockfin after.
All right. So we're going to talk about the unspeakable word, right? So he's poisoning the well. He is going to go into a big old rant. We're not going to cover it, but it's all going to be about that unspeakable topic. So this is literally, we're showing how Jake the asshole, he steps up and then he acts like a clown. And Jeran here, he's coming out here and then he's going to poison the well, because we know that he's going to flip. We know that he's going to see a 24-hour sun, and we know that he's going to say that we're on a globe. And so he's poisoning the well across the board. He's going to bring in a topic that's absolutely unrelated and unnecessary just to bomb this thing. So let's go on here. I don't think it gets into it right here.
First hour or so, because I'm going to play, speaking of truthers, so I'm going to play Tom MacDonald's new song. I think it's good. Again, Tom MacDonald is doing a great job. And everybody calls him a shill. Why? I don't know. Because he doesn't say exactly what they want him to say. So if somebody doesn't rap
come
about...
on, Jared. He did a rap song with Ben Shapiro. Okay? Pretending like he's not on Team New World Order. Get out of here. Go ahead, Jared. Say whatever you're going to say. I think it's comical.
Well, the heading that I have for this section right here is Jeran selling out. So let's see what's coming up.
Exactly what you want them to rap about. They're a shill. It's getting gay.
What?
Way gay. We need to accept that people are not going to all believe the same thing. And we can look at what they believe and why they believe it and look at the evidence. And if we believe something different, that's okay. We don't need to argue with each other. We don't need to go back and forth about it. But yet...
What about when a shill puts out disinformation? Are we supposed to defend against that?
People want to do that. Why? I don't know. Let's get real quick done with the sponsors, and I want to tell you about a new show.
Sponsors?
We got...
We're going to skip that.
Here comes...
CBDrub.com. Thank you, Jay.
Nah, here's the...
Him Creek Bear.
I just want to show the sellout here.
CBDrub.com.
So this goes like full Alex Jones here. And you can get the backpack with a conspiracy music guru, all right? LED backpack.
Customizable, right?
Yeah. So these are the sponsors, the advertisers. Get some of
in the VIP room.
Get some of this, right?
Wow.
So it's all selling out. Let's go ahead and jump ahead here to 1839.
That's fine if that's what you want to do. But don't throw us under the bus and then make people pay for it. Come on.
Yeah, that's unethical.
But hey, you're no worse for it. You're no worse for it. All right, so we got that out of the way. That is all the, I believe, logistics. Yes. Oh no, I was talking to somebody about abortion. I know it's a issue that's sensitive, but I want to say something just because I feel like you have a point of argument here.
Maybe this is why he's taking it down. I don't know why you're playing it. Do you have timestamps?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted him to say those words right there. So this is where he goes into the poisoning the well. We're not going to play it, but so this is specifically what he does. He wants to, and it's going to come up later. The strategy is very obvious. We want to let people know what he is doing. He actually speaks it out himself. So now let's go ahead and jump up to 2638.
Got that. We talked about tomorrow. Do I want to go into that? Well, yeah, I'll just talk about that real quick. If you don't know, there's some jokers in this community, formerly in this community.
Hold on. What kind of a setup was that? Here, we'll just talk about this real quick. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. That was I don't know if I want to talk about this, but there's some jokers.
The reason for the podcast he's doing.
The whole reason.
All right, so we got that. We talked about tomorrow. Do I want to go into that?
This was after poisoning the well with that other topic.
Yeah, I'll just talk about that real quick. If you don't know, there's some jokers in this community, formerly in this community. I don't know if they're still there. I can't even believe they still have a channel.
He doesn't know if we're still here. He doesn't know if we have channels.
Why would you not have a channel? Yeah, mine's gone. Yeah, for the Rise and Grind. We're breaking down the Cerveza bug thing.
Mm-hmm. But you're active. You got channels.
Yeah, I never quit.
I don't know how they get one view, let alone 600 or something, whatever views.
Yeah, he watches.
He's mad about that. Come on.
No, they call themselves the real Glowbusters.
We are. He didn't.
Have you seen the debate with Red's rhetoric, everybody?
Yeah, he got annihilated by Reds.
Right? Watch the debate that Jason and I had with him and Sean Hufford.
We're the real Glowbusters.
The real Glowbusters. And
That's
this is
covered
Ronnie
with
and
a double
Jason, if you
D.
don't know who they are. They are
I won't say the channels though.
two of the weirdest, strangest people I've ever met in my life.
Weirdest, strangest.
And they just love. This is what my favorite thing is. I've had them on my show numerous times. Let them explain their model.
Me, he just
And
brought on
then they go-
once, right? On the Baby Truthers. Now, I had him on my podcast 7 years ago.
Well, and I was on Globebusters, but of course they took that down and hit it.
Back to their channel and call me every name in the book or out of the book. You name it, either one. And again, you might be asking, why would you ever show these guys? Well, I just want to point out something here. Jeranism will debunk.
This is the same crap that you get out of Will Duffy. There's only two models of reality, and then there's these other guys. It's the exact same shit you're getting from Jeran here.
The fake flat earth psyop as predicted.
Yeah.
Fundamental truth number 2, purpose fulfilled. Let's just talk about how true these guys are. These guys claim to be the two watchers from the Bible and said that they were here.
Two watchers, huh? Is that what we said? That we're the two watchers? When we put out the first 4 fundamental truths, we did mention that we did see the possibility of how we could end up being the two witnesses. They're spoken of in the Bible, but we never said anything about the two watchers. And Bob Nodell, supposedly gone, he called us the true prophet. So no matter what, these guys just have to straw man and just make up stupid shit that we don't say to be able to take down, right?
No.
To end the world, and that the rapture was coming in 2000.
All right, so this is one of the corrections. When we started 7 years ago, everybody was screaming rapture, rapture, rapture because of the Revelation 12 sign that took place in 2017. And we fell for that psyop the same way we fell for the pressurized pizza dome psyop. But as it passed, right, we started to realize, okay, this is probably like flat earth, and it's probably like the Trinity, and it's probably like a whole bunch of other things, like the true names of the Creator and the Christ. And so we started digging into it, and what we found out was that the rapture is a psyop. So I think that's now fundamental truth number 7. So we go where the truth is, right? We follow that path. And sure, yeah, maybe at first we were talking about rapture, but that changed. And we now know it's not true, just like the globe's not true.
2017. And then in 2020, they again said that the world was going to end.
And we've never said that the world's going to end. What we're talking about is the beginning of the Great Tribulation. That's a biblical time period that's very well spelled out, that is coming. And what we're looking for is the beginning of the Great Tribulation, not the end of the world. That's some sort of nuclear holocaust, apocalyptic type New World Order psyop. That's not what we talk about whatsoever. We're looking for the Great Tribulation to begin. Always strawmanning us with false positions.
And then in 2022, they again said the world was going to fucking end.
No.
And they call themselves truthers. These guys don't give a shit about the truth. Okay? At all. Oops, where's my comment? What happened here? Am I not watching a video? What am I blind here? Where's comments? What is all this? That was weird. I don't know why all those videos down there. Alright, so my comment to them was, and again, this is the truth. I would have, if they just made a video saying, hey, we want to show our model is a correct, okay, great. Then I would have them on my show. But I...
That's what we've been doing all along. Our model is correct. The one that you're sharing is impossible. And you let us on once thinking that you were going to be able to wrestle us around, and it didn't happen. We made all of you, David Weiss, Alex Stein, Rose 777, made all of you look like clowns as we were showing how the map and model actually works, and it's accurate.
Said I would of course invite you to my show to show your model and explain it. But you clowns again just accuse me of lying, of planning this all, that I'm a Jesuit.
Yeah, these are all things that we've shown the evidence for, right? You're the one that admitted that you are a Jesuit. You went to a Jesuit high school. I don't think they let non-Jesuits go to Jesuit high schools.
You accuse me of being involved in a crypto scam.
That's evidence on the internet.
I'm a CIA. I'm a PSYOP. I'm in the military.
We didn't say that you're in the military.
Well, we didn't
Tavistock.
outrule it.
Tavistock is a type of mind control tactic that we always refer to that you use all the time. Things like the terms Pac-Man. That's a Tavistock mind control that represents something that we don't stand for.
To sway or create a mangled image in the perception of people's consciousness.
Yeah, calling it a simulation and saying that we say that nothing is real when that's not our position. We've always said that this is a virtual reality. We used the word simulation early, but we learned from jackasses like you not to do it because it's a Tavistock word.
This is in one fucking video. I'm telling you what they've said in one video. That I'm a CIA PSYOP, that I'm military, that I'm Tavistock, that I'm a crystal ball and bat.
Yeah, crystal ball and bat's blood selling. That was the website that's not active anymore that we've shown. It has you and Missa sitting at a desk with a globe on it.
It's blood selling, toddler stealing toys.
You made that up.
No, I made that as a joke.
Oh, okay. Satanist shill, yes, absolutely.
Satanist shill. Claiming I've already flipped.
Yeah, we're going to show that in the video that we're going through right now. This video here.
And then they said, oh, and he had Joe Hill on. And when Joe Hill was on his show, I've never had Joe Hill on my show.
Joe Hill is a moderator in your chat, you freaking jackass. Now, the other thing that we'll ask for is the videos. What we're referencing is there was a whole group of people that were put into an auditorium style room.
Yeah,
it was like
Jeran was running it.
Yeah, like a classroom where all these people were green screened into the classroom, and Joe Hill was there, and he was a part of running it. We could watch him actually changing and manipulating the scene.
Yeah. Where did all those podcasts and episodes go? So they delete everything from their pages. That's why we've documented it. The bat's blood. We documented that he went to whatever school it was. Does he think that we're saying that he's this like meeting in an underground vault with a bunch of like hooded wearing Jesuits drinking blood or something? I don't know if he's doing any of that, but I can see clearly what he's shilling for Bitcoin, for the fake flat earth. He debunked the fake flat earth with the Behind the Curve documentary.
He's the star.
Yeah, and now he's supposedly going to film the 24-hour sun to prove the ball earth.
Give me a break, liars. You're too dumb to even listen. There is no 24-hour sun in the South. You are two of the worst researchers I've ever seen.
We started showing the video of the moon staying above the horizon for 14 days straight in the South, right? And in our last podcast last night, we shared a 8K VR cam where you can actually move around and track and follow the sun the entire time, a 360 cam in Antarctica that shows that the sun doesn't set there. Now this footage is just starting to come out. It was hidden for a long time. That's the reason why we said for up until about 4 months ago that there wasn't any proof of it because we hadn't seen any real footage. But it was
4 months ago.
4 months ago. If we go back to Telegram, let's show everybody how this all... Where is... It's this podcast that we did right here. The 24-hour circling sun above the horizon. First possible real footage. And that was streamed 4 months ago, January 28th, 2024. This is the first time we saw real 24-hour footage from the north. And then we started saying, well, if it's in the north, it's probably in the south as well. This came from Kate. And yeah, Zwarst was all over it at the same time as well. So this is the first real footage that came out. Now all of a sudden we're seeing 8K 360 degree cams from within the area where the sun doesn't set. So things do change. The New World Order hid this stuff for a long time. And now it's being released.
Laugh at me saying that there's an NDA for a settlement, even though all settlements include confidentiality clauses. They were watching.
Not all settlements do. Some do, maybe even a lot, but not all of them. You can't say all of them do.
Me and Duffy, and they're like, "Oh, Jeran said that he's not going to talk about his settlements because there's a confidentiality clause or an NDA." I'm like, what? Yeah, there usually is. Sorry.
Do you have a settlement and an NDA with your contracts for Behind the Curve and for all these other projects that you're involved in, Jeran? Is that the reason why you know so much about NDAs? How many NDAs have you signed? I've never had to sign one. How many have you had to sign?
If I got that right. You guys get everything wrong. Every single thing you've ever done, you get wrong. So you guys can stay here and talk to the wall. Why would I do anything but punch you in the face? Keep up your shitty
No, physical attack, huh?
Pac-Man simulation nonsense. Your mom.
No, that's the strong man. We're absolutely against it. Both Pac-Man and simulation, those are the Tavistock words that we're against.
Doesn't predict anything. You stole
It's accurate to 100th of a degree per second.
globe observations.
Oh, we stole globe observations. So this is going to be the battle from now all the way through the final experiment. The only models that I'm aware of are fixed and motionless that have the sun, moon, stars coming out of the ground and setting into the ground. And those are all ours. So it's not until the globe provides a model that has all 5 different motions that they even have a model, because the models that they say are theirs are ours. You can clearly see the sun rising through Earth and setting into Earth. And unless if you're going to say that we're in a virtual reality, you can't use those.
Luminaries come from the ground and inside the ground. You dumb fucks just keep lying. I don't believe people stand upside down, you losers. I said go to 119.
As soon as you go to Antarctica and say that we're on a globe, you are going to be saying that you are upside down to the people in the north.
20 and listen to yourselves. You describe exactly what's going on, and yet it's okay for them but not okay for me. So let's just go there. We're going to go to 119.20. I want you to hear this. So what did I say when I had Duffy on? I said very clearly, I said, if I go down there and I see the sun go behind my head and it goes south of me and goes around me in a circle for 3 freaking days, that I would have to come back and I would have to admit that model probably better fits reality than the model I've been pushing. That's because new evidence would have come to the table that I saw with my own eyes, and therefore I changed my opinion. Listen what they say. Why is this okay for them but not me?
Streamed it and documented it all, Jeran. So we were willing to stand on the fact, but now we've actually seen some evidence that looks like the sun does stay above the horizon in both the north and the south parts of the reality that we're in.
Well, and the thing is we knew all along the model that we've been sharing predicted it, but we were just saying that it wasn't happening because we didn't see any real evidence.
Right. That's why I'm saying that it's not happening, because I've not seen any real evidence. So far we're the same people here.
So now, as some real evidence is coming in, all right, we're understanding that the model did predict it, and it does appear to happen as well.
So that's all I'm saying. It's the same exact thing. That if the evidence presents itself, then I'm going where the evidence is. And yet,
oh, that's perfect. That is perfect, because what we started with was the video of the moon doing circles, right, like this. And there's the 8K footage, and like I showed, the evidence for a 24-hour circling above the horizon, the first possible real footage came in January 28th, 2024.
Yeah.
And we documented it. And the reason why we started standing on this is because this matches the predicted model that we use. All right.
Yeah, it's great. I'm grateful that Jeran's willing to follow the truth. I think that's amazing. That's a huge win.
But do you think he really will, or these are empty words?
I'm
Yeah,
called a
time's
shit
going to tell.
for the same thing that you guys are saying you did. Now I want to show one other part here. What is the, I don't remember. Does this thing tell me the time? Shoot. Oh yeah, 1:13:01. Now I want you to hear what their model is, just so you know why I don't have them on my show. Okay? This is their model.
This is the reason.
what did I say there was? 11301. Okay. I want you to hear their model, and then you tell me if this sounds like reality. Listen to these who call me every name in the book. They're wrong about it all, yet they know the real truth about how the Earth works. Let's listen.
Which are illusionary apparent positions. Gleam, I would agree with you, but let's start thinking of that now. So if it is just a problem with our model, there has to be a way that you have to turn around in Antarctica to see the sun. And again, if you're going to then
showed it.
multiple suns or Pac-Man sun, then
multiple suns or Pac-Man. So the multiple sun guy is QNFEE. He's the one that was screaming multiple suns, and Jeran debunked that. He said you're going to be able to see the other sun coming in. Right? It's
Right.
retarded to think that there's more than one sun in the sky at the same time.
I'll agree with you.
I agree. Nobody's ever seen that for real. But then the straw man is the Pac-Man sun. We've explained that we don't see the sun
Listen
as
to this.
A ball traveling above the map, going from one side to the other. It's rotating around each observer. The luminaries come out of the ground and set into the ground, rotating around the observer, tilted to the ecliptic base.
So there's 8 billion suns. He laughed at there being multiple.
So this is the exact same angle that QNF is trying to take, saying that, oh, because you say you're in a virtuality, there's more than one sun because everybody sees their own sun. That is such a weak, stupid straw man, when the entire time what we've been saying is every single person sees one sun. No person sees two. So it's only in the globe model or the Freemason New World Order pressurized pizza dome that multiple suns means that people would see 2 suns in the sky, or 3 suns in the sky, or 4 suns in the sky, whatever it would be. We are clearly stating the entire time that every single person's only ever going to see one sun, one moon, one Jupiter, one of everything, but each person sees it unique to their own position because we're in a stereographic virtual reality. That is what you expect. That is the model.
There's 8 billion suns. The sun rotates around each observer, and the stars come out of the ground and set into the ground, and the sun does the same thing.
Perfect. That's exactly what happens.
Okay. And these guys have the nerve to call anybody else liars or that they don't follow evidence. It's insane. Their model, let me show you their model. They actually have a model that they send you to. Here's their model. Guys, isn't this exciting? Look at this. Isn't this cool? This is
the other thing that you'll see from Jeran. He's got all the data off the screen. All right. You don't get a clean view from him where you can actually see the 100th of a degree per second that the model offers.
the globe model.
No, he's calling this the globe model.
They say this is their model. They actually move this little map around. They go, look at, no matter where you go, it's flat, and this is what the sun does. We can just move.
Exactly.
You're just moving a camera within the 3D space here, and what we can see is a circle of sight with the sun rise and set with all the angles and the analemma and everything perfectly mapped out. Well, I mean, close to perfect.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely flat. This isn't wrapping. The model actually clearly shows that the sun will go down here and that the light goes away up here, right? That the sun is going down into Earth. It's not going around the edge of it. This isn't heliocentric. It only goes from 0 degrees at the horizon to 90 degrees, perfectly plumb perpendicular to 0 degrees at the horizon, which is 180 degrees, which is a measurement of a flat plane, right? That's it. That's it.
The time here, and everything works great. Look at the time, and here, and they actually believe that the sun comes out of the ground for each observer. This is one of.
It's provable. These shadows right here would not be cast in the way they were if the sun wasn't coming out of the ground. If the sun never went into the ground, you wouldn't get these shadows here. But yet this is the exact measurements of what everybody sees. Buildings are built off of this based on the angles as far as the windows are concerned. All the heating elements to a building. This is accurate data, everyone. That's the reason why this Andrew Marsh site exists. This exact same type of tool is found within SketchUp as well, and pretty much any major CAD architecture software. It all has the sun coming out of the ground. SunCalc has the sun coming out of the ground. Stellarium has the sun coming out of the ground.
It's clearly it's okay to say that for flight derivations that the Earth has to be flat in a simulation, but not in a virtual reality.
Observer, and the sun comes out of the ground and goes and sets in the ground. It's insanity. It's insanity. Just pointing.
It's not insanity. It's witnessable. It's observable. Every person that's watched a sunrise and a sunset has seen it.
Now, why they will not be on my show, why I will not reference them again, why they continue to say it.
So he's not going to reference this again. Well, guess what? We're going to continue to cover everything that this guy says all the way through the final experiment, and we're going to continue to expose all the shillery as we are doing tonight.
Everything they possibly can about me. In fact, I saw the video that is coming out today, I think, or something. It's coming out later with my picture on it again. Again, do I have to put these guys' pictures on my thumbnails to get views? No. That's what they need to do, though. That's what they need to do, and they call themselves the most censored.
We've been against this guy the entire time. He's like the worst of the fake flat earth shills.
Yeah, we don't care about views. We don't care.
Obviously, we wouldn't. If we cared about views, we would have stopped a long time ago. We're going to document everything, and we're going to keep doing it.
Channel on the internet or something. I mean, it's just insane. It's like nobody wants to hear your nonsense. They believe in simulation. What is it called? You have a name for it.
He doesn't know the name.
Simulation. Just so you know, we want to know the name of this thing. Oops.
He doesn't know the name. Simulation.
I thought somebody said it in the chat or something. Simulation. I can't find it.
Can't find it.
Again, everything's scripted. This person says, Jeran covering all the base.
So he never said what it is that we actually say, right? He just used the straw man Tavistock words. I'm surprised he didn't say it's the simulation Pac-Man model, right? No, we're against simulation. We're against Pac-Man. We're against Cube Earth. Is this Will Duffy guy has made up a new straw man against us?
And questions people ask, but this wasn't scripted, right? What is scripted? I mean, it's so stupid. I just can't stand to be part of
YD getting a shout out from Jeran.
This community at all anymore. And I'm not saying everybody that's here watching this is this community. I'm not saying that. But people who claim to be truthers, like everybody on this channel here claims to be a truther. I don't want any association with that word because they're not about the truth.
No. There's 9 fundamental truths that the people that come to this channel stand on. Look in the description box, everybody. And so when people agree with the 9 fundamental truths, that makes you a member of Team Yahawashai. That is not something that we bestow upon you. It's something that you choose. And all we can do is continue to show the evidences for those 9 fundamental truths.
They want to say that I'm writing scripts or that I work for the CIA or that you don't care about the truth. Where's your evidence of that? Your little mind games, your little mental trip, your little fucking delusions? That's not evidence. Okay.
No, it's being able to connect you with all the other agents that...
the propaganda.
Yeah.
Promoting propaganda, pushing the same things that all the CIA agents push and ayahuasca and doing all this other stuff. And your own words. You know, guys like Mark Sargent wearing the CIA logo. It goes on and on and on. It never ends with these characters.
Yeah, so here's the full crux of the reason why he doesn't want to be called a truther anymore.
That's just you following a creator who you think is a truther and then believing whatever they say, which is just nonsense. It's all nonsense. So, we're not going to watch any more of them. You can if you want to fall in love with the simulation theory, which says that everywhere...
Fall in love with? Who uses that type of gaslighting? If you want to fall in love with...
I don't even understand the delivery. I have no idea why he would say something like that. That's super weird.
It's called gaslighting.
And by the way, again, I was going to finish this off. They don't get where they're like, oh, well, this model, our model, they call this their model. And they look at this map over here, if you can't tell, this is...
every single model that shows a fixed stationary Earth that has the luminaries rising from Earth and setting into Earth, that's our model. All of them. Every single one of them.
The Mercator map, and they basically say this is the Earth. This is how the Earth is flat like this. And that if the sun goes this way, watch as we Pac-Man'd over here.
Oh, he's showing exactly how it works.
Pac-Man'd over here, and we Pac-Man'd over here.
No.
Yes, there's no loops, right?
Yeah, no Pac-Man. Seamless.
The thing you got to do is change your watch time.
Yeah, all it does is changes the time of the day based on your latitude and longitude. He showed a great way of representing how you go from one side to the other without Pac-Manning.
Believe that. I don't think that's how reality works. But again, I don't care what other people's beliefs are. If you want to believe that, go right ahead.
He doesn't care. He made this whole podcast against us, but he doesn't care.
The key thing to point out is that he doesn't agree with this model, the one that shows on the screen what we're looking at here. And his model is going to be the globe, right? And Jason asked in his call out video to Will Duffy for the model of everything in the universe. You know, you could have simpled it down, made it maybe our own galaxy, right? But you said the whole universe.
Oh, come on. If the scientists are going to say something is positioned here in three-dimensional space, like this something in the sky, we'll plot it out based on the amount of light years, and let's be able to see what the rest of the universe looks like from that situation, right? This is obvious. It's 2024. 3D modeling should be easy for them, right? Super easy. It just shows that all their so-called orbits, all their orbital data, the distances to these things, the size of them, none of it's real. It's all absolutely make-believe, because if they actually plotted it all out, you would see that as soon as the Earth started moving through this so-called universe, that there'd be parallax everywhere all the time because of the 5 different motions. And we don't have any parallax on Earth. Right? So this is just absolute obvious proof that the luminaries are rotating around the observer like this, right? Not going around a sphere like he's going to want to say.
Go right ahead. But then because you believe that, to claim, oh, I'm going to go down, and I've already flipped, and I believe people are upside down, you guys are out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And I've said the same thing the whole time. They're like, oh, Jeran's just now realizing that the sun sets south of west.
We've battled you for the last 7 years about the direction of the sunrise and sunset in the south. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying it's proof that we're on a globe.
What are you talking about? I've known that forever, but I've shown you on a ray diagram where it can happen. Okay, now what?
Ray diagram and a coffee cup. That's his proof, and like a paperweight, a half globe paperweight.
Cannot happen.
Yeah, wait. What's the accuracy on the ray tracing in the coffee caustic cup?
Yeah,
is it a?
Let's see the algorithm behind that.
Thousandth of a degree? What?
Yeah, and let's use that inside a coffee cup that is 3D calibrated, where we know the exact angles everywhere, so we can get all the reflections every which way.
Which is the sun going around your head, at least in my opinion. I do give credit to a couple people out there. Melodome, Austin, Thompson.
He gives credit. This is one of the worst. I mean, come on. Melodome just showed up, and he's a new kid on the block that only shills for the AE map and model, that he sits around there in like a wizard cloak. He literally wears like a wizard cloak.
Somebody I've seen recently who has woken up to the same thing that I've been seeing for the longest time, and that is that we are falling for many lies. You know, I often wonder, if you think about Adam and Eve.
All of a sudden this switches into Bible, Adam and Eve. How is that transition possible?
I wonder if the story is meant to be, look what happens when Eve trusted the snake, look what happens when Adam trusted Eve. I really believe anytime you put your faith in somebody else, anytime you put your beliefs behind the beliefs of somebody else, you're in trouble. Okay, I don't want to do that ever. My beliefs are my own, and they will change as I see fit.
Oh.
If you don't like it, too bad.
So don't have any faith in Jeran, because he is willing to change his beliefs as he sees fit anytime. Right? So I can guarantee you all that the 9 fundamental truths that we stand on, we're not going to flip and all of a sudden say, no, it's the opposite of one of those. It's not going to happen.
Too bad. I'm not following along for your joy, your pleasure, I'm going to stick to what you want me to believe. It's just not the case. And again, people are like losing their mind. Here's what I think. I've not seen any flat earther with balls yet. I'm the only one.
No balls.
Oh, Jeran says he's the only one with balls. Then
So Jeran's the balls guy that's going to go back to the ball? Is that what he's saying?
come out and say what I say, which is if we see the sun go fucking behind us in Antarctica, the earth cannot be flat.
Cannot be flat.
The way it works, that's the way it is. And if I'm wrong,
He's got it literally on the screen right now, the model that shows it. He'll actually take us in the model to Antarctica, where it shows how on a flat plane the sun can be going around an observer on a flat plane, while he's telling us that it has to be a globe.
if what my statement I just said is wrong, then you have to show me how it's wrong.
Oh.
But what do? You just say, well, you can't look at the lights in the sky to prove the ground that you're on. Sometimes you can. Think about it. If in the north, at the North Pole, the sun goes around you left to right 24 hours a day. If at the south, the sun does the exact same thing. It goes around you, but now it goes right to left. What does that mean? So why am I so brave to say that? Because I don't think that the sun does that in the south, which is why I'm a flat earther. Hello, McFly.
Oh, the reason why he's a flat earther is he thinks that there's no 24-hour sun in the south. It has nothing to do with the curvature of water. It has nothing to do with no curvature of Earth. No motion. It has nothing to do with any of those things. Flight times. It doesn't have to do with anything else other than just the fact that he thought that there was no 24-hour sun in the south.
McFly. Anyone there? Anyone home? I've heard every excuse in the book. People messaging me saying, well, it could be a fake sun. It could be a simulation sun. What if we have this sun coming? The dumbest explanations I've ever heard. They cannot fake the sun on me if I'm down there. Maybe.
You hear that, Q? You hear that? Jeran saying that you're a retard and that there's no way multiple suns are going to get into his view. And that there's no sun simulator that they're going to shine up in the sky. He's not going to be able to tell the difference between that and the sun. So he's calling you a fool, Q.
You would be fooled. They cannot fake the sun. There's no sun simulator that puts out the exact same registry and everything as far as the infrared camera, as far as it just doesn't exist. Okay? That doesn't exist. And again, just like they have no evidence of the 24-hour sun, well, we don't have evidence of it setting either. Okay? So, I will look at here shortly all the reasons why I currently believe that there is no 24-hour sun.
That's all.
Period.
That's it.
But if you can't say, then you're not a truther. You are a truther, I guess. You aren't following evidence at all. You don't care what the evidence is. You've come to a conclusion, and now anything that you see, you're going to sift through that preconceived idea. Okay? And I will admit,
no.
I can admit every time I'm wrong.
Just a second.
No problem admitting I'm wrong. Why does everybody have such an ego? If anybody should have an ego, it should be me.
So I'm trying to say that we've been the ones that have been willing to take correction the entire time. Yes, if one of the fundamental truths was proven to be wrong, we would take correction and change it. We've always shown that path. We're the only ones who have.
Yeah, we started out as pressurized pizza domers. Yeah.
Yeah. So this entire back twisted story or illogical logic that he's trying to come across with is just ridiculous. He's the one that wouldn't take correction, not us. We take correction. We're willing. That's what we want. Right. But we can prove to you over and over again that the earth has no curvature. Over and over again. Forever. We're going to prove that.
you can't prove that there's curvature to the Earth, but they're going to see the 24-hour sun. So he's the one saying that we're not, and no one else in the community is willing to take correction when we've been taking correction the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, just saying. And I don't even have that. I can sit back and be like, okay, so I'm wrong. So I've put 9 years into something that I've been wrong about. If that's the case, oh well. I'm looking for the truth. I'm not into standing my position and saying, nope, the Earth's flat no matter what. No, the Earth's flat because I don't see the other things. Now, even if we see the sun go behind us, does it mean that the Earth moves? Nope.
So he's going to go on to this list of things that it doesn't prove, but he's going to everything. His big balls statement was to say that if there's another model that predicts it, then it has to be true. Right? So all these truths that he's going to list right here are things that he's not willing to stand on if he sees a 24-hour sun.
Mean that the sun is 865,000 miles wide? Nope. Does it mean that we fly through space? Nope. Does it mean that NASA's real? Nope. Does it mean that we went to the moon? Nope. Does it mean space travel's real? Nope. And you guys want to cry like little bitches. Why don't you stand up and have some fucking cojones? Why don't you stand behind your belief?
We do. We're proving that your model's wrong and that ours is right.
Rather than I stand behind my belief and then you call me a shill. Because I'm sticking to evidence, I'm the shill? Sorry, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. When somebody has been honest for 9 fucking years and has to constantly hear shill this, shill that. Again, I don't even think I'm the right person to go to Antarctica for that reason. People are...
Yeah, you've already been discredited once. Why not? Your reputation is trash. They're going to trash you again.
I already have doubts about me, so it's like, whatever. I'd rather listen to somebody else come back and tell me what they saw. Somebody, hopefully, that I trust. And that's all it comes down to.
We showed the evidence already.
Is that I do...
Yeah, 24-hour moon, 24-hour sun.
14-day moon.
Yeah.
Do recognize that we have 2 models. So let me just show you. This is... You can
2 models.
A model. It is what it is.
But
he's trying to call it a globe model. When you can... It's absolutely on a plane, you freaking jackass.
Yeah, with 4 corners. I mean, anyone can see.
We go down to about right here. And actually, we can look at this.
So all this ranting with the actual working model on the screen, now he's actually going to move into the area in the south that shows the 24-hour sun.
Actually, let me see if I can shrink this screen because it's not got the whole thing in it. There we go. All right. So over here, we can go to the geographic. You see this over here? Oops, there. No, not fade to black. Thank you. All right. So over here, you can go to the date and time. So we'll just go ahead and go to... Let's go to...
He's barely showing the data. So you need the geographic location open. You need the twilight times open. And you need to get it all on screen so that we can see all the data. This over here shows you the length of daylight. So you can see this is a map of throughout the year of day length. So this is the time periods out here of all daylight. And this black area from this location where he's at right now is the map of all night, right?
June 21st or June 17th. Okay, there we go. And we're going to move ourselves up to the North Pole.
Notice how that put you in 24-hour daylight here.
Okay, so this is somebody standing at the North Pole. Again, as the day goes, you'll see that the sun simply rotates around. Pretend this person's standing at the North Pole. Now those guys, Ronnie and Jason, they say, but yeah, this is flat, so the Earth's flat.
He says, but these guys say this is flat because the Earth's flat. So he's right away, believe it or not, going to start denying the Earth is flat. You got to hear this again. I told you, he's going to go absolute globe shill. Come on, let's go back here.
You'll see that the sun simply rotates around. Pretend this person's standing at the North Pole. Now those guys, Ronnie and Jason, they say, but yeah, this is flat, so the Earth's flat. Okay, that's not exactly what's going on here. Let's pretend it's a giant sphere. Well,
let's pretend it's a giant sphere.
Why?
Because he's a globalist.
This particular location would be flat.
If it was a giant sphere, this area would be flat. He's going straight globe.
It's not true either.
It's not true.
I've mentioned before with the Home Depot 1,000 times. Take a 3-foot level and set it anywhere in a Home Depot, and it will.
So he's got a Home Depot thing that he does now where he says that Home Depots are curved, and if you just put enough Home Depots next to each other, they'll make a globe.
No. Is that what he's about to just say?
Yeah.
Always say level. Well, what if the whole world is made of Home Depots and it's a giant sphere? Would it still be level everywhere?
Okay,
Yes.
hold on. No, stop. No. What a ridiculous mind trick. Your Jedi weak ass mind trick. If you level the floor, then you built another Home Depot beside that and you leveled it to that first Home Depot and you continued building Home Depots, you would be building an infinite flat earth plane Home Depot. The only way that you have a globe is if you factor in the curvature. That's it. And then once you do that, all the measurements to all the luminaries and everything that's around you, it becomes super quantized. I don't even want to start to try to pretend I'm like Austin Whitsitt and with all these big words, but it all of a sudden becomes irrational and everything falls apart. The fine tuning of reality is just far too grand for anyone to think that it became a big bang, infinite, big ball spinning reality. And that's what Jeran's actually leading toward.
Jeran literally says Ronnie and Jason will tell you that this is a flat plane, but Earth is like a bunch of Home Depots put together and it's a big globe.
Yeah, I want you to believe this is a big globe here.
Yeah.
Just imagine that this is a globe.
That's what he just said.
Oh, okay. So that's all it comes down to. This eliminates Nathan Oakley's stupid new thing that those guys are off. They're not truthers. You'll need a flip.
He's going after. He's going to throw Nathan under the bus right here. He's not a truther. Listen to why he's against Nathan.
Flat Earth for that. Oh, you can't measure angles from a flat baseline. Stupidest shit you've ever heard. These guys aren't truthers. They're dumbasses.
You just said that Nathan Oakley's a dumbass for measuring off of a flat baseline. So Jeran's obviously a globe earther. He's fully out now.
They're scammers. Nobody's saying they're measuring from a flat baseline. They're taking a tangent. Do you know what a tangent is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know what a tangent is. That's what the globe earth uses.
Jeran's new catchphrase is going to be Globe Depot.
Globe Depot. Yeah, not only does he take a tangent, not off a sphere, he does it to a pyramid. All right, because
globe.
Jesuit Freemason shillbag.
A tangent from the top of a pyramid?
Latin
You can.
in the title, right?
Tangent from the top of a pyramid. You can.
Don't write in Latin, right?
No, they do.
This eliminates Nathan Oakley's stupid new thing that those guys are off. They're not truthers.
You're mad at Nathan.
You'll need a flat Earth for that. Oh, you can't measure angles from a flat baseline. Stupidest shit you've ever heard. These guys aren't truthers. They're dumbasses. They're scammers. Nobody's saying they're measuring from a flat baseline. They're taking a tangent.
Too,
you know what?
What's that?
The scammer. No, the correct word is grifter. People trying to get the same amount of money that you spend on a cup of coffee.
Pay me.
You hear the grifter terms, you can see. But you know what? At the end of the day, let me go on the record saying that some people, they enjoy the content more when they pay for it. It's true.
Tangent is? Can you take a tangent from the top of a pyramid? You can.
Wow.
You can take a tangent. It's just a line at the top of the
What
pyramid.
about a globe? Can you take a tangent to a globe?
Okay. Look at this. You're watching
Globe
this,
Depot.
and the sun goes around this person in the North Pole. Now, I've heard from Bob
Depot
Nodell.
temper tangents. Jeranisms and its Globe Depot temper tangents.
Yeah, so he literally has our model on the screen right now showing people how the sun works in the north, right? And then he's gonna take it to Bob,
who I trust very much, who said he's seen.
He didn't say Bob's dead.
Bob said that he played wiffle ball in Alaska, right? At midnight.
That's what everybody does.
And twice. Jeran, absolutely. The northern sun goes around an observer. He was in Alaska, northern Alaska, and watched the sun go around his head for 2 days.
It's not going around the globe?
Or the North Pole. It goes around the observer.
Observer, right? You heard that language.
So I know that exists. I don't have to question that. I even tried to challenge the real Glowbusters and Ronnie or Jason. I don't know what. Get confused of which one's which. They're holding hands under that table, though. I guarantee you.
What?
Yeah, making
So weird. So for him to go into that tangent, this guy claims to be intelligent. He's known us for 8 years. He doesn't know who is which. What does that even mean? I mean, how he just put his face there.
And the Christian guys that are always saying that try to live sin free because you don't want to burn in hell for eternity. And that homosexuality is one of those sins that you don't want to get caught for. So we're against it.
They want us to say that. They want us to come out here and bash on gay people too, right? That's the setup for it.
We're very heterosexual, but we're also celibate because the whole truth scene is, I don't want to be with somebody that doesn't care about the truth, and I don't see him out there. So this is a time period of my life where it's just about fighting for the truth.
Jeran's the place where they've got all the dating sites.
Yeah, OnlyFans, right?
I don't know.
Somebody said he's got one.
Yeah, I don't have any time. I would never get anything done if I was constantly doing like dating sites. I don't know what Jeran's going on about. I don't understand any of it. I think it's super weird, the entire thing, and it's really just a distraction away from the debate of who created this place and why. And that's what we're still about to get to at the end of all this. I know there's only, I don't know how many more timestamps you have.
Oh, there's some more.
Ronnie's the big one. Jason, I tried to get him to go because he said that they didn't. So this is the funny thing. He used to say that there was no 24-hour sun in the north. I tried to get him to go. I said, let's go on a trip, me and you. We'll both pay our own way. We'll go up to Greenland. We'll watch the sun. If it does do a circle around our head, you pay for my trip. If it doesn't, I'll pay for your trip. And they chickened out. Now they, of course, believe that. That's what they were saying. Oh, well, we used to believe, but then new evidence came in. And right. So what's wrong with me saying the same thing?
Because we say that it's happening in the south as well. Right?
It's also evidence that
it's exactly what the model predicts.
He's the one coming up with the flying to the poles to measure the sun, right? Just wanted to point that out. Like 6 years ago, he wanted to do this observation. Why didn't you fly to Antarctica then?
It's exactly what I told Duffy. I said, and again, people are all like, this is why I don't even know how many of the flat earthers really believe in the flat earth anymore. If you've seen the amount of people who have said the whole time that there is no 24-hour sun, that it doesn't happen, and then now they're all backtracking like, well, even if there is, well, it doesn't matter if there is. Then what have you been doing for 9 years? I've been standing behind my beliefs and showing people the evidence for it. What have you been doing? It's ridiculous. Anyway, you can see that the sun goes around this person 360 degrees. And the reason why is if you start to move this, again, I'm talking about the globe model here. If we move this little...
Oh, he's talking about the globe model while he's showing our model on a flat plane. The asshole, right? He's talking about the globe. No, this is a flat plane model.
Person here, you'll see that
this is how the sun rotates around the observer. He just showed the whole flip.
The person, right? So if we get down to the, oops, we went too far south. If we get down to where we'll be in Antarctica, which is here, again, now we're in June, which means that as the sun goes around, it is not seen by the people in Antarctica. Now, if we change the date to December 14th, when we will be down in Antarctica, again, I keep saying we, I'm just going to use that as a pretend for now. Again, I don't think I'm the right person. I would rather see somebody else go just because I don't want to hear the bullshit. I'd rather just find out. Somebody go down there and actually find out. Because from what I can tell by my research, why is there no... We'll get into that in a second. Here we are now at December 15th, 2024, and look at it again. Now I'm...
Exactly. This is exactly what we'll predict for a 24-hour sun around them. That's the reason why we want the azimuth and altitude settings. We want to compare it to this model right here, because this is a flat plane at 80 degrees south with the sun circling around. All right, that's...
swinging this thing from time and watch the sun as it takes a circle around the people in Antarctica. If this happens, if you can't come to the if you can't understand that our model, it doesn't work with that.
Get out of here! It doesn't work with our model. It only works with this model. He's got it on the screen. It doesn't work with the AE map model. It only works with the stereographic virtual reality. He's got it on the screen.
Doesn't work. And if I'm wrong, I've been doing this for 9 years. No one has ever presented even a slight reasoning for this.
What? I mean, that just about leaves me speechless. Nobody's ever presented a slight reasoning for this. Well, he literally has it on the screen. And that's it doesn't get any worse than that. It doesn't.
And what it would mean to me is that God wants us to be fooled. Why would the Creator make a flat earth that has a spot in the north that if you stand on, the sun goes around you, and then if there's a spot in the south that if you stand on, the sun goes around you the opposite way, and then expect you to believe it's flat? That doesn't make any sense. Do you understand?
It's right here. It's a stereographic virtual reality, and it's actually relatively simple to figure out once you know that Earth is flat and that you know that there's two polar points, right? A north and a south. It has to be stereographic. It can't have a monopole like an AE map model.
Understand what is being said there? I appreciate Nathan Erickson, somebody else who came to me and said, you know, Jeran, the sun is the only celestial item that can prove cosmology. And I said, thank you for saying that. I would agree with you that the sun is I wouldn't put it on the stars. I wouldn't put it on something, but I would put it on the sun because there is no explanation for that happening. Now,
as he has it on the screen, quite literally. Asshole.
People are going to try and tell you differently because
we will.
They're afraid. They're scared.
Are you afraid, Ronnie? Are you scared?
No.
No, me neither. I'll tell him he's wrong. Right here, right now.
They don't want to be wrong. I'm not afraid of that. If I'm wrong, great. I get to find out. I will be so much closer to the truth on December 16th, regardless of what I see. So why wouldn't people celebrate that? Why wouldn't people be excited about that? People don't want the trip to happen. Now, here's my opinion. If you ask Jeran, what do you think's going to happen? I've already made the prediction. The trip will not happen, or we will get down there and it will be cloudy for 3 days and Duffy will waste every penny he put on the trip. That's my prediction, because it's impossible that they let me go down there and see the sunset. Because that would change the world.
Change the world. That's what he's saying. Jeran's the change the world guy. If he sees a 24-hour sun in the south, he changes the world. What happens if he doesn't see a 24-hour sun in the south? Does that change the world too? It must, according to Jeran, right? All of a sudden it becomes a globe.
Why not just be honest like I'm honest? Why not just be honest and say, I don't think it exists. Therefore, they're not going to let me go down there and see the sunset. Therefore, they're either going to cloud up the sky. But to go to the stretches of, well, maybe there's a sun from an alternate universe that comes in this way. Well,
that's Q and Fee. That's Q and Fee right there. And Jake the asshole probably.
What happens to the sun that we know is real? And if people are like, oh, well, the sun is just a reflection point and it's just a figment of our imagination, go look at Crow 777.
He's the coffee cup caustic guy, and guess where he's pointing people to?
Camera shots. The sun is
Crow 777.
Something physical.
Physical. All right, so we went from Jeran saying that where was I going? Now he's taking curvature. Home Depots. Enough Home Depots put next to each other make a ball, and now the sun is physical. Go check out 777. The sun is physical. No longer is it just a celestial light. It's a gaseous ball.
It looks it. I have no explanation for anything other than calling it physical. Go look at Crow's. He's taking hydrogen alpha telescope images. Let me see if we can just find it so you can see it. I'm not saying this will be Crow's, but now that we know that Crow...
Look at this. Good afternoon, King Jeran. He doesn't have an ego problem, though, he was saying.
Fix it. Like, we have to trust people in our own community. People are already calling Michelle. It's fake. You think Crow is faking images of the... I mean, it's so stupid.
Crow, the guy that faked the lunar wave, right? Why would we think that he would fake anything else?
An alpha sun. Images. Okay, so he's taking, yeah, this one looks exactly like his. So this is what people are seeing when they use a hydrogen alpha and they zoom in on the sun. So what is this? What is this thing? Say whatever you want. What is this thing that is in the sky? That
It's not just a light anymore. It's a physical thing, he's calling it.
is for somebody in the north moving around them left to right, staying up there the entire day, and in the south it's dark, nothing's going on there. Then it flips.
All right, so we can jump ahead here. He goes off into a tangent. Let's go out to 107. Put your content out publicly, Jeran. Don't make us do this. It's ridiculous.
What the fuck is the sun doing a circle around our head for? Still doesn't make sense. This is why. This is called demonstrable evidence. And I'm talking to the wall. People are like, "Man, you don't really know what the sun is, Jeran. You can't say that." Well, then we're not looking for evidence then. If we don't know what the sun is, then there can be 8 billion suns. Go watch Jason and Ronnie. There might as well be 8 billion suns. The stars and the suns are coming out of the ground. Well, we don't really know what the stars and the sun is, so they could be coming out of the ground in the ocean, Jeran. You're right. Good point. Go watch them. I'm not exploring that option. I'm not exploring the Pac-Man sun. Not at all.
Pac-Man sun. That's the Tavistock word. And yeah, it's only Q with the multiple suns out there. And you're the one that just called it physical. Go watch Crow 777. Hydrogen alpha telescopes prove that the sun is physical, right? It's made out of atoms. You can measure it now, right?
But let's say we're down here at 90 degrees or 80 degrees, sorry. And the sun in our model circles this way.
Your model.
It's a bad circle.
Your
It
model.
goes this way. Now, I've shown before on the ray diagram, ray tracing, that because of the atmosphere, it is quite possible that you would see the sun rise south of
No.
east and set south of west. I've shown that. The dome calls for that. Lots of things call for that. An atmosphere.
See, he's a domer. He's an absolute domer. He needs it for his coffee cup caustic.
You just put atmosphere in a circle and it does that. But what, in no place, at no time, in no condition, would you ever stand here and watch the sun go around you for 3 frickin' days? How would it go around you and the flat earth be correct?
We had the model up. You had the model up. Get out of here.
Well, we don't know what the sun is, though. And yeah, but it's going around your head. So let me explain this again, because Jason and Ronnie laughed and laughed. They're like, that was the dumbest explanation I ever heard. Pay attention here. Pay attention.
You getting this,
sun
Ronnie?
goes around my head. Okay, so let's say that here the sun's coming, which, by the way, supposedly down here they go by Brazil time. So let's say here it's noon. Okay, 12 noon. And then it starts going this way. So by here it is now 6 p.m. Okay, there. And here it was 6 a.m. Great. If the sun is behind me, okay, so it goes around here, then this is where it would be at midnight. Okay, but at midnight, the sun should be here. Pay attention now. If the sun is behind me in Antarctica and also lighting up the other side of the flat earth, do you understand what that means? Think about it. How could the sun be behind you in Antarctica and be lighting up land way over there?
Any guesses, Ronnie?
Stereographic.
Yeah, well, exactly the model that he had on the screen just a little bit earlier in this podcast, right? So he just continues to straw man and straw man and straw man. Let's see if we can get into a different topic. All right, so here's where he's going to go into his poisoning the well bit. Let's go up to 120.45.
No, ALE. Logistics. Expedition. Okay. Antarctic expeditions. This one. Oops, that's wrong. Where's ALE? Come on.
Come on, Darren.
Okay, so this is just a tourist company. Now, the tourist company, they're the ones who pay. Like, they have rules about what you have to do with your piss and shit. Why? Because those are in the Antarctic Treaty. So they are following the rules. They're just getting that permit for themselves. They've done the environmental study themselves. They've paid the $1 million. We haven't paid that. And so people can go down there on these trips to them. Now, also, is this a way that you would hide? Sure. Right? So this is why the evidence is kind of butting up against each other. But I'm not afraid to say that if I see it, then I've just been wrong, and all my evidence pointing has not been pointing in the right direction. That's okay. I'm not afraid. I don't know why everybody's so frightened. Like,
He's
aren't
not
you
afraid.
care more about the truth than you care about being right? Like, I don't understand why everyone's got this in it.
You have to have the truth to be right. You have to have the truth to be right.
It's fractured this community in so many ways.
Here we go.
So many ways. Every false flag that comes up, if you believe that there's people who died and somebody else believes they don't, you guys are now foes. If you believe in the Mandela and somebody else doesn't, you just get completely segregated. I don't see anybody that watches Mandela shows watching any of my shows because it's been they're not allowed to watch me.
Not allowed.
Right? So this is what's happened: is the truth community has been fractured, not by truth, but by standing in a position and not hearing somebody else.
There you go. Jeran just exposed that the truth community has been fractured by standing in a position and not being willing to hear somebody else. So that is exactly what Will Duffy's doing. That's exactly what Jeran's doing. It's what he did with Brian Stavely, with RV. This is how they fracture the community. You've got the experience of the truther community being busted up over a plane crash psyop, right?
Yeah, way before Jeran came out, and he just continued the same protocols of distract, divide, and conquer. That's all he's ever done. And grift. You got to add the grift in with him.
So he's explaining how to fracture the truther community, and let's see where he takes this.
I was pointing out that some of the Mandela effects, there's some Mandela effects that cannot be explained. There's others that I can explain. I tried to point out a few of those. No. You get chastised. You're out of that community. You're done. People that used to be really big followers of mine said how great my shop is, the best show that they've ever seen, turned against me in a heartbeat because I said that Sex in the City was always called Sex in the City. And why did I say that? Because my wife laughed at me. I said, babe, you remember Sex in the City? They say now Sex and...
We can jump ahead here.
I can tell you that actually we do know the date of these rocks. Never will happen. Oh, I took a trip to Chicago and now I know the age of dinosaurs. No, you don't. Well, I went over to this Large Hadron Collider and now I believe in photons. Nope, sorry. Doesn't work. Oh, well, now I believe we know what's inside of an atom. Nope, sorry. Oh, well, now I went down to Antarctica and saw the sun go by my head, so the Earth must be a ball. Wow. You're waking up.
Oh, that's waking up, huh? That's what he calls waking up. Going down, seeing a 24-hour sun, and waking up to being on a ball. That's what he's saying.
You're waking up to the fact that there's some things that do lead you to a certain belief. There's other things which will not.
Oh.
But I can't be in charge of that for you. You need to figure that out yourself. You want to keep saying that we can't tell the shape of the Earth by the lights in the sky? Then just be with Ronnie and Jason.
Get the out of here. The lights in the sky.
Say that.
The lights in the sky prove that the AE map and model is impossible. Not that we're on a globe like you are saying. It's so bad.
8 billion suns. In fact, the sun will be setting, thank goodness, here soon because it's...
Let's go ahead and jump here. So we're getting towards the end of his podcast. He shouts us out a couple more times, but it's really more about the division coming up. Let's get up here.
Wrong that flight actually does use the jet streams for this reason. Okay, great. Then I don't say that anymore as my evidence. And I've had many things that I used to say that I don't say anymore. That's what happens, is that you get told. I used to make the claim all the time about railroads, tunnels, bridges. And it took somebody really laying it out for me that, would you, if the earth was curved, need to...
All right, so he's going back into curvature first. It's going from the Home Depots now, roads, bridges, tunnels, all these big civil projects like this. He's going to now justify how they work with curvature, right? Who is a flat earther sits there and attempts to justify things working with curvature?
To make allowance for the curvature. No, you wouldn't. Think about a railroad track. Let's pretend that the earth is a giant sphere. You would go and lay a railroad track. And then...
As soon as it starts with, let's pretend Earth's a sphere, you know you're in for trouble.
You would lay another one. And then you would lay another one. At what point would you need to be like, oh, we got to take the curve into account? You wouldn't. You wouldn't need to.
No curve.
So I stopped saying that. It no longer made sense to me. Why would you need to take the curve into account to build a bridge? That's why you even know it's bullshit when they're like, oh, the Veracano Bridge is 4 centimeters apart at the top. Shut the fuck up. You would never make an allowance for the curvature of the earth when building a bridge. You would just build the fucking bridge. That's it. Just build it.
Just build it.
There's no drop if you're building a bridge. It's on the ground, and everywhere that you are is technically flat.
Okay.
Technically.
If you were building a bridge around a sphere, you would have to take into account the curvature. Jeran is, this will be my last comment. He's trying to promote curvel, that things can be level and curved, which is irrational. It's a non-reality. Okay. There's an up and a down, a left and a right. There's a sky and a ground. There's no one is ever going to be upside down. And things that are curved, right, aren't level. They're curved. It's just plain and simple. That's it, Jeran.
He's going big sphere.
The world is. Again, is it because the earth is flat, or is it because the earth is a sphere that is gigantic? I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Right?
What do you have any question in your mind if Earth is a big gigantic ball?
No, there's no curvature. The properties of water alone tell me that we don't live on a sphere. It would be water curvel, not sea level. All right? It's just obvious.
This guy's not a flat earther.
I wonder why. Why are all pictures of Earth cartoons? So many questions. So many questions. But it'll be a ways until people wake up to... We have to get away from this. It became like this, just like, and we're going to talk about it when we get to Tom McDonald, just like they're doing right versus left, they want you at each other's throats no matter what it is.
Oh.
Mandela, not Mandela. Flat, round, right, left, Democrat, Republican, black, white, Muslim hater.
All the examples of division that you are all about.
Non-Muslim hater, anti-vax, vax. It's all meant to cause division because division requires government control. As long as we fight each other, there needs to be a government to police things. The second that we realize, oh, we can just all get along, there goes the government. We don't need it. But I don't think I'm going to be living in the time that people wake up to that. People are so far gone. So far gone. Everybody thinks they're... I mean, look at the 80s, how much nicer it was. Why? Well, because a lot of people didn't pay attention to TV. There was no internet, so people didn't really think that their opinion mattered much. Because it really doesn't. It really doesn't. My opinion doesn't matter much. Your opinion doesn't matter much. It doesn't matter. I'm just on...
He's going globe Earth. You're insignificant. You're just a speck of dust.
Carl Sagan quote. Go,
Yeah.
Jerry.
on YouTube because I'm like, oh, this will be a good way for me to keep track of my stuff and to also hold myself accountable that I'm not going down weird roads. But I tried to do that, and as soon as
But I try to do that, go down weird roads, right? That's what he's saying.
you say, well, I think Ashley Babbitt died, the whole world flips out. Sorry, in my research, Ashley Babbitt was shot by a black guy inside the Capitol. Get over.
See, he takes odd positions just to create
Going to the
division.
Visionary topics. The CIA,
Exactly.
psyops, right?
Exactly what he was saying.
We can still be friends. I don't go after you and be like, you believe she's still alive? Oh my God, you stupid idiot. If you want to believe that, believe that. I've seen enough evidence. And when I ask RV Truth, what is the evidence? It's on the news. Oh, that's the evidence that it's fake? Great. Yeah, because anything on the news is fake. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. The news also told me it would be 100 degrees today. That wasn't fake.
Oh, straw man. So we do know that all the major networks, all the articles that they run, all that kind of stuff is part of scripts, right? Either on a world level or even at a local level, they'll run psyop things. Now there are things like weather reports and the occasional local news of something that took place, but for the most part, if it's a TV show, if it's on TV, if it's a movie, it's part of a script, right? It's made up crap.
So not everything on the news is fake, RV. Not everything. And if somebody was shot in the Capitol, would that not make the news if it was real? They would just not mention it? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, these are the guys that people follow and think that are truth tellers. Ronnie and Jason. Stars come out of the ground, so the sun comes out of the water. Each person gets their own personal sun that goes around them. And
Nailing it.
8 billion suns. It's
as many observers as there are. So it's every animal, every human, everything that's got eyes, plus every camera, right? Everything that observes sees the sun, moon, and stars to a unique position for that viewer, with the luminaries rising from Earth and setting into Earth. That's 100% verifiable. The stats are on that model that you were sharing, 100th of a degree per second. Let's test it against what you observe in Antarctica, right? King Jeran.
King Jeran, yeah. It's great.
Is there anything else you want to go through, brother?
No, again, at the end of the day, if Jeran showed up here in Austin, I'd sit down and talk with the guy. I don't have any hatred in my heart at all. I don't want to fight Jeran. I don't hate Jeran. I don't want any ill will on Jeran. I want him to have a good life and to be happy and to do what he does. If you guys want to check out Jeran, go and subscribe and watch his channel. I'm not against that. We're not trying to stop anybody from thinking or doing anything that they want to do. We're just going to document what he says and what he ends up doing. That's what we do. And we don't have any particular sway in it. We're not making money off of it. It just is what it is. So thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. And again, my last thoughts is, Jeran, we can talk anytime. Why don't you can come on our channel? Why don't you come on our channels? It's always about you and your channel. Come on our channel and we can have a conversation and we can talk about this like men, right?
Absolutely. So my question to those that do follow Jeran is, will you become Globers when Jeran sees a 24-hour sun as well? So we will see you all this Sunday night when we go into biblical cosmology. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Wits it gets it, right?
watch you